Hi everyone, I'm Pi, and this is Video Diary for Finding My Way with Pi, Purpose, Intention, and Emotion. So I have 5 different things that I want to unpack today. Let me first start by setting the stage. And the first thing I'll share is the emotion that I had, and then I'm going to unpack that a little bit. So, setting the stage. When I walked in to work this morning, there had been an email announcement, basically that announced the individual who achieved the role. And I had a whole bunch of folks rooting for me and supporting me, of which I'm so thankful. And I walked in on a cluster of folks standing around talking about it. I mean, when I walked in, it was like, that awkward silence. The emotion that I had throughout today, and if you've been watching Finding My Way with Pi videos, you know that I just had a big disappointment, and then some hurt, and then some what felt like setback, and just some hard to work through personally. And when that happened, and then it just, more broad knowledge for everyone, and then suddenly it felt like it was showcased and just out there in the open. And of course it would be. I've never thought it wouldn't be. It had to be. And I had a really big lump in my throat just seeing what I perceived as just scrutiny at the end of the day, because I really don't know what, aside from what folks shared with me, which I'll get to in a minute, but I really don't know what people were thinking, but it was like under scrutiny all of a sudden, right? So my reaction to that and reflecting on that was, it just felt like a vulnerability exposed in a different way. It's one thing sitting here recording a video diary, and I know that sounds crazy because this is out there on YouTube and like visible and public for anyone who may want to watch it, and yet it feels more almost like intimate when I walk into a workplace with people I've worked with for years and have that history, and they see it. Anyway, so I did have a lump in my throat, but the emotion that I want to observe is what welled up inside of me, because I had a full day. I had quite a few meetings. I needed to be present. I wanted to be present. I want to be there for my people. What welled up inside of me was courage. Just courage to get through the day under what I knew would be some scrutiny, and to hold my head high, and to still be present and contribute where I know I can add value and really just contribute the best that I can. I still have my work to do, and I still have people I'm going to be there for. So courage is so valuable for us. And it oftentimes can come on the heels of hurt and disappointment. We have to carry on. The second thing I want to share is that hurts, disappointments, setbacks, or however you may perceive that, hard things happen to every single human being. I don't care who you are, but I want to make this point very intentionally, because I've been told before that people view me as highly successful. I have my stuff together. They ask, how do you achieve what you achieve? Some people even tell me like they're intimidated by me. I'm powerful. I don't know. I don't see myself that way. I just love people I approach. People with, loving intentions. But, perceptions and even comparisons of what's on our insides to other people's outsides, we all fall subject to that. So the point I want to make is that I don't care how successful and powerful you may be perceived as. You are still human, and you are still going to go through things like this inside as you go through and you interact with the physical world and with other individuals. It's just, I need to normalize this. And I think there's something in this message, at least for me, it's powerful to hear, because no matter who you are, if you think, so-and-so over there is so powerful and successful and they never go through this and they never feel this, and I feel this way, so therefore I can never be that. That's not true. They're human too. And they do feel this, and they do go through emotions, and they figured out how to work through them. So can you. And you can be what you set your mind to. So if you want to learn how to work through the emotions, and you want to have courage, and you want to go out there, go do it. It occurred to me that maybe this is part of my purpose in sharing Finding My Way with Pi, because it's showing my vulnerabilities. And I hope that gives other people some courage of their own. Maybe some assurance and acceptance as well. And maybe it gives you some permission to accept that in yourself as well. All right. I'm looking at my notes. I actually wrote notes down today because when all of this hit me, I knew what I needed to talk about today. I knew what I needed to process today, but I was not in a place where I could record a video right at that moment, so I had to write it down. The third thing I want to talk about is when you put yourself out there, and that's a scary thing to do, but when you put yourself out there, it is a risk. I want to position this, though, in such a way that it's a risk both ways. It's a risk if you succeed, because then you got to show up and perform and do the thing. It's also a risk if you don't make it. And again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again now. Maybe it's not about success or failure. Maybe it's just about the experience and the process of putting yourself out there and taking the risk. Because I'll tell you what I do know for sure. If you never put yourself out there, if you never take the risk, if you never try, then nothing will ever happen. Nothing will ever happen for you. You have to try. Don't be afraid of what you might perceive as failure. It is not failure. You might feel like that, and you might need to go through the emotions of disappointment and hurt or whatever may come from it. But at the end of the day, it is not a failure. It is an experience, and it is part of your life. Keep trying. Keep putting yourself out there. The fourth thing that I want to say today is that it's also occurred to me that one of the insanely meaningful things that I don't think I anticipated when I started Finding My Way with Pi, but showing the process and the evolution of emotions and just daily life. It's incredible. It's incredible to be at in this position with this perspective, to look back and watch the process. to see the evolution of it. It is a beautiful process. It's like a butterfly coming out of its chrysalis. Every single time you go through something hard and you go through the struggle of it and you feel the emotions of it and you intentionally make your way through that process, you come out on the other side and you've got wings. So also just a side note that I did receive a tremendous amount of love and support today. And some from people in pretty elevated positions. And it made me realize and start asking myself these questions genuinely, being able to internalize it and actually feel open to it as I go through the evolution of this process. But the questions are, is it possible that there is still purpose here? That there is still growth and everything I'm seeking in a career, is it possible? It's still here? It's still available? Maybe it wasn't this one thing. Okay. Maybe that doesn't mean that there isn't another thing and that it might even be better. And there's part of me that has to trust that that is actually the case. If I allow myself to be open and to see the opportunities rather than just solely focusing on what feels like a loss or a dead end or a setback, if I allow myself to see the opportunities, then I can capture the opportunities. So I want to acknowledge the emotions, process them, let them go, and open my eyes back up to what is so that I can see the opportunities. Okay, last thing, I hope you stuck all the way through. If you stuck all the way through with me during this video, you're about to see a little very personal detail. One of my secrets for where I find my confidence and my resilience. I keep a picture of hubby and I put a little word caption on it that says, "You're just talking to me, Pie." If you've seen the videos, you know that hubby calls me Pie. That's my nickname. And that's where Finding My Way with Pie came from. And it just so happened to perfectly be an acronym of purpose, intention, and emotion, which was miraculous and perfect. But I keep a picture of him. Ready for it? I love it so much. You're just talking to me, Pie. I opened up my computer today, and this is inside my laptop. And I smiled. Because this is a reminder to me that it doesn't matter who is on the other end of the line or who is sitting across the table from me. I need to have courage to be real, to be me, and know that it's going to work out okay, even when it seems like it doesn't. It's okay. And this reminds me to just be me. And when it says, "You're just talking to me, Pie," it puts me in my greatest comfort zone where I can be myself and loved unconditionally. It puts me in that frame of mind. That's my trick. I hope you use it. I hope it serves some of you well. It has certainly served me well, and you can see the photo's getting bent, and I'm gonna have to print another one because it's heavily utilized. So those are the 5 things. Number 1, have the courage to get through, even under scrutiny after you've gone through a hard thing. It's okay. Number 2, doesn't matter who you are. You could be powerful. You go through the same emotions. You're human too. So normalize this. Have courage. Number 3, if you don't ever put yourself out there, nothing will ever happen to you. Take the risk. It's okay. Face the fear. This emotion of success or failure, as you perceive it, it won't kill you. It will add to the experience of your life. Number 4, showing the evolution and being aware of the evolution of your emotions as you go through something in your life is incredibly powerful and meaningful and adds hope. And number 5, you're just talking to me, Pi. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.